Welcome back to the deep dive. So, our source material today is pretty unconventional.
Yeah, it really is. We're looking at the complete script and a detailed synopsis for a short-form radio drama. It's called We Are Cleaning, The Stains of Relationship.
And what's fascinating, right, is this script was written with a really tough constraint.
Mm-hmm. The whole emotional journey, conflict resolution, had to fit into less than 14 minutes.
Which is just incredibly tight. It forces this amazing narrative
Yeah.
efficiency.
Exactly.
So our mission today is basically to pull this script apart. We want to analyze how the classic East Asian narrative structure, Kisong Jenengal, that's introduction, development, turn, and conclusion,
Right.
how that framework is used to pack in massive relationship tension, deep emotional conflict, all into, well, less time than it takes to listen to a couple of pop songs. It's kind of a masterclass in swift storytelling.
Yeah, it really is. And to get it, you first have to understand the setup. The characters are Dohyun. He's in his early 30s, seems very resigned, sort of checked out.
And then there's Jaeon, late 20s, and her story is really defined by this kind of hidden wound. And the setting is crucial too, right? It's almost like a third character.
Absolutely. Their small laundromat, cleaning, which is about to close down. It's clever naming.
Yeah, the name.
Yeah.
They started the business not just, to clean clothes, but also, metaphorically, to kind of clean up life's little messes, life's small wounds.
Mm.
But now they're facing the biggest mess, the ultimate stain, really their own failed relationship. And they've got 3 final days to clean out the shop and implicitly clean out us.
So the physical space itself is just charged with the failure of their dream right from the start.
Okay, so let's unpack that, starting with the key, the introduction. The script uses sound brilliantly here. You hear the creaking shutter, the echo in the empty space.
Yeah.
It just sounds like finality.
Yeah, it sets the mood instantly.
And Do-hyun's opening tone, it's not really sadness, it's more just exhaustion, resignation. He seems like he just wants to get rid of everything, including the relationship, quickly.
And there's just no time for long backstories or exposition. The script jumps right in using physical objects as stand-ins for their internal conflict.
Right. Like, as they start cleaning, the past literally bubbles up.
Yeah.
And the first things they find tell us almost everything we need to know about why they're splitting up.
What's the first one?
It's a shirt.
Hmm.
From their very first trip together. So, potentially a cherished memory.
Okay.
But it still has this old coffee stain on it.
Mm-hmm.
Never properly dealt with, never cleaned. It's like a physical reminder of an unfinished moment.
Mm-hmm. And Dohyun's reaction.
It's just dismissive, cold, almost. Throw it away. That's it. No sentiment. Just trash it.
Wow. Okay, so that sets his tone. What about Jiyeon?
Well, his reaction immediately contrasts with the next object. It's a sweater that Jiyeon had actually gifted him.
Mm-hmm.
And she points out, sort of quietly, that she never saw him wear it.
The unworn gift. Classic symbol.
Exactly. And his defense is so clinical, he just says the style didn't fit.
Oof. Cold.
Yeah. And the script gives us Jaeon's inner thoughts here. She feels like they're literally throwing away pieces of their shared history. That unworn sweater, for her, symbolizes the emotional distance he always maintained.
So right there, in those first few minutes, with just 2 objects.
You've got it. The stained shirt shows his apathy towards the past, maybe his desire to just erase it. The unworn sweater shows her lingering hurt, that feeling of rejection. That's the core tension laid bare. His distance versus her pain. That's the Kai stage working super efficiently.
Okay, but apathy alone doesn't make for drama, right? You need the tension to build. So now we move into Sung, the development phase. The friction has to escalate somehow.
And it does, on the second day. And it happens over something totally mundane, morning coffee.
The small rituals, they always reveal so much.
Totally. This is where his negligence stops being just a feeling and becomes really explicit. Jiyeon actually remembers he likes his coffee black. It's a small gesture, but it shows she's still connected, still paying attention.
Okay, a little point for connection there.
But then she asks him if he remembers how she likes her coffee, with cream. And his answer, it's devastating. He hesitates, and then it's just, I don't remember.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's rough.
It's not just about the cream, obviously. It's the proof. It shows his distance wasn't just passive. It was maybe active neglect. He stopped doing the basic maintenance,
The small things that keep a connection alive, yeah.
And the script apparently calls for this brutal silence after he says that. But, that simmering tension needs a boiling point. It needs to break.
Right, and that leads us right into the gelato. The turn.
Exactly. The pressure finds its release point almost immediately after the coffee incident, and the trigger is finding their old shared diary.
The shared diary. Okay, that sounds significant.
It is. Because inside, they find this promise they wrote when they first opened the laundromat, something about sticking together.
Do you know what it said?
Yeah, the synopsis gives the line, Brygar, which means something like, even when things are hard and we're tired, let's start together here. It's a promise that went beyond just the business.
Okay, so that diary instantly raises the stakes. It's not just about a failed shop anymore.
Precisely.
Ah.
It gives Jiyeon the ammunition she needs to finally confront his whole resigned act. She basically throws that promise back at him. And her question cuts right through the excuses about the business failing. She asks, why are you giving up so easily? Not the laundromat, she clarifies, but us.
That's the moment then, the point of no return for the narrative.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Dohyun, he's still trying to hide, right? He falls back on his defensive realism.
What does he say? Like practical stuff.
Yeah, exactly. The business failed, we fought every day. He tries to boil their entire shared life down to just a failed project, a bad investment. He's desperately trying to avoid the emotional core of it all.
Trying to keep that wall up.
Right. And his attempt to minimize everything just triggers the explosion. Jiyeon hits him with this final, devastating question that really defines the Jiyeon stage. She asks, then is what remains between us just stained clothes to be thrown away?
Wow. Equating their love with the garbage they're clearing out.
Exactly. And the script directions are specific here. A loud, violent door slam follows. And then, crucially, a long, profound silence.
That silence, that's the lowest point. The Jiyeon needs that moment where the character is left completely alone with the wreckage. He's forced to sit there and absorb her accusation.
Yeah, he has to internalize it.
Yeah.
Did he really treat their love like that stained shirt? Something valuable that he just decided was easier to discard than to try and clean.
And that solitary moment of reflection, that's what sets up the possibility of moving towards the Giyol, the conclusion. He has to confront what he actually abandoned.
Okay, so we've hit rock bottom. Now we shift. The final day arrives, and we're moving towards the Giyol, the resolution. The script notes a different atmosphere now.
How so? Still tense.
Not angry tense, more like quiet. Exhausted resignation, maybe. But there's also this sense that they're both committed to finishing the cleanup task. It suggests there's still some unspoken respect there, even if the relationship feels dead.
Okay, so the stage is set for the actual cleaning to begin. Not the shop, but the relationship.
Exactly. The conclusion isn't about the laundromat anymore. It hinges entirely on Dohyun finally revealing the truth behind his supposed apathy. And this transition from Jiyeon to Joel happens through these deliberate, really unexpected confessions from him. They basically prove his emotional distance was a performance.
Wait, a performance? So he didn't actually forget the coffee thing, forgetting a detail like cream. That seems pretty believable if you've checked out of a relationship.
That's what we're led to believe. That's the setup. But the payoff in the Gyeol is the reveal. He confesses he did remember the coffee. He even remembers the specific word Jiyeon used to describe the cream, yuwa, which means sweet.
So he proves his memory was fine. He was acting like he forgot. Why? What?
Well, that ties into the next bit, which is really fascinating. He circles back to that unworn sweater from the very beginning, remember? The one that seemed like such a cold symbol of his indifference.
Right. The one that didn't fit.
He finally tells her the real reason he never wore it. He admits he was terrified of ruining it. He uses this phrase, afraid of getting hand stains on it, afraid of it shrinking in the wash.
Wow. So it wasn't rejection at all. It was fear. Fear of damaging something precious.
Exactly. It completely flips the dynamic from the beginning. His seeming apathy wasn't indifference. It was this deep-seated, fearful avoidance. He was protecting the gift by keeping it pristine, unworn.
That changes everything.
It does. And then he makes the core confession, right, Shai? I was scared. He admits he was overwhelmed by how happy their ordinary life together actually was.
Like scared of happiness.
Scared of losing it, scared he couldn't protect it. So he built the wall, pushed her away preemptively, almost, before reality, the inevitable hand stains and shrinking of life could damage it or take it away from him.
So the distance was a defense mechanism, born out of fear, not boredom or lack of love. That's, wow. In terms of short-form storytelling, that's incredibly economical. It reframes the entire conflict instantly.
And it offers a path to empathy, right? And maybe redemption.
Definitely. And then there's one more physical symbol to seal this redemption.
Ah, yes, the plant. The ushe, the happy tree.
Right. They apparently bought it with their very first profits from the laundromat. a symbol of their initial hope.
And Dohyun brings it out, revealing he'd secretly kept it alive this whole time, hidden away somewhere.
Exactly. He'd been nurturing it away from the main shop floor, away from the danger, maybe. That plant becomes a living proof. His commitment, his love wasn't dead. It was just hidden, carefully maintained because he was too afraid to let it be vulnerable in the open.
It's the peak metaphor for his hidden heart, really.
Absolutely.
So that brings us to the sort of the thematic takeaway. Jiyeon has this final narration where she sums it up perfectly. She realizes they hadn't actually been cleaning each other's wounds all along,
No, they'd just been letting the stain of the heart, as the script calls it, accumulate. They thought avoiding the mess was protecting the relationship.
but it was just letting the stain set deeper.
Well, precisely. So the resolution isn't some magic fix. It's not like everything is perfect now.
Hollywood ending.
Right. It's more about a commitment to active maintenance. The script says they share a genuine laugh, finally connecting after the confession, and they decide to restart the business idea, but as cleaning second branch.
So the name cleaning gets a new meaning.
Exactly. It's no longer just about clothes. It's now a symbol of actively dealing with the emotional mess together, cleaning the connection itself. And the final sound effect, that shutter closing, it shifts from sounding like depressing finality at the start.
To something more hopeful.
Intentional.
Yeah, like closing one chapter to deliberately start another. Cleanly.
It's pretty amazing how this trauma in just, under 14 minutes uses that Kai-Sung-Jong-Geil structure so effectively. There's no room to wander. None at all. And those physical symbols, the stained shirt, the coffee, the hidden plant, they become these incredibly potent shortcuts. They reveal deep emotional truths super fast.
Moving us from that initial resigned apathy all the way to a hard-won real connection by the end. It's quite the journey in a short time.
And the implication, I think, for any relationship is pretty clear, isn't it? Real maintenance isn't about pretending the stains aren't there or hoping they just fade.
No, it's about actively engaging in the work.
Right.
Doing the cleaning of the heart stains together. Even when it's uncomfortable. Even if it means admitting you were scared to wear a sweater.
Exactly that. It's about the willingness to address the mess, not hide from it.
Which leaves us, and you, with a final thought to maybe chew on. If relationships are kind of like laundry, what's the stained shirt in your life right now? Or maybe what's the secretly maintained plant?
Good question. What memory or maybe what fragile hope are you subconsciously avoiding dealing with? Or maybe nurturing in secret because you're just afraid of what might happen if you bring it out into the open?
Something to keep mulling over. We'll see you next time for another deep dive.